Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. So we're just going to do a Fortnite FNCS stream quickly. So yep.
Even gives him a tap on the shoulder, he'll go down.
A bit late by the way.
And he stops to use some shields wisely.
I'm thinking about names that end up thriving in situations like this, where the very, very top side of the board go down. Two of them on your screen right now, Toos and Putrick. I feel like Thomas has stopped them twice in terms of trying to go for a retake. It was Queasy that actually beamed down Putrick so hard when he was trying to go for a glide. They will not be here this game.
And Kiri actually went down, and so that means Stormy Right has to clutch up as a solo. You can see here, he's got some mats, he's got the web shooters, but this is going to be a tough game if he wants to try push his team into contention to win it all.
Usually they're alive as a duo, but he will be in that solo spot. Reversal as well on the other side, right? Joe and Vino, both alive. Right above him, usually they have a solo situation to deal with. I'm thinking about one more duo as well on the side of Putrick and Toos. Janice Vortex, also alive for the moment. They're very good 11 at stealing these games, being in the best positions. And I'm feeling like this is a day one overall with an Austin Pink on high ground in terms of how the style looks for the game. They might even come back in this competition.
Yeah, and Pink and Anas, right? They've really struggled in games this season to gain high amounts of eliminations when they do win games. But sitting there just outside the top 10, this would be the time to change that.
Janice Vortex want to hit this pad, a little bit of damage done, a lot of damage done on both players. And look at the loadouts. There's no way for them to really get it back. Look at the threshold as well, 99 below. This is absolutely atrocious for Janice and Vortex. I'm not even sure if Vortex can catch up to the spot that they're at right now, but Trulix and Chico are the ones going for high ground. Queasy will not be able to stop them for the moment. Stormy Right doing his best to try to stay inside this game. As much damage as possible to people in the storm. Possibility of the actual damage from the outside of the circle to help him claim any of these eliminations. Not going to be possible. It is Trulex and Chico that claim that high ground. Clement and Floki going to be there towards mid. Pablo and Swag alive as well. So all of the offbeat people are there. And Stormy Right does not actually trip. It's just a super swing. He's fine.
He scared me for a moment. If he had gone down, that would have been heartbreaking. But he doesn't have the web shooters left. Going to do well to farm some bricks, some nice map awareness. But how far is that going to get him? Because he has to climb a mountain. Not just metaphorically, but literally.
I see no single-digit place team alive right now. Trulix and Chico just took a place up there in the top 10. They're going to be 9th. Pink, though, and Anas, they still have voices to use. They've been quiet so far, but they're screaming the high ground is ours after that retake. 4 eliminations to pump in this position as well. 7th zone. They're starting things off early and hot.
They've done well, right? They've not lost focus of what the goal and the task ahead is. They had a bit of a slump, but they are sitting on height where they are comfortable. But like I said earlier, they need to try and get some eliminations to pair with it. Stormy right now, higher on a layer, but he's in the backside of the zone with a duo knocking on his door, but he has no answers for them. He just has to drop down and get out of dodge.
He's in low ground. That's Vino and Joe's lair. Floki also drops down at the same moment, and Janice is there too to lock one down. And Austin Pink, though, still on high ground, and everyone switched to wood builds. That puts a big smile on Anas's face. This is where he just starts to beam down every team. Gonna be Fury, the first one that they focus on as well. Pablo and Swag, 3 elims of their own, all in endgame. We're down to the final 9 teams for the circle. And Pablo, oh no, wrong box, my friend. The left side is dangerous. The right side is impossible to move. Swag has nowhere to go. Let's just go up and around. Somehow it's free and allowed. How is this possible? And the backside are 2 different players, but he gets beamed apart. That's Trulix and Chico looking good. Meanwhile, Vino Joe still on low. Trulix now basing up. Looks like he's going to challenge maybe high ground. They actually look back towards the storm. This is very interesting for them. Looking for any chances for damage, but no, it doesn't land. Lucia now also going down. Pink has a voice. It's still screaming loud. Floki takes out Joe. Vino down 2. Him and Clement are not going to be alive. No, they are both as a duo beside another one going head to head, and Chico and Trulix have no mats.
Chico and Trulix, they have to drop down off of height, and they drop on low, and they're trying to find control. They pick up an elimination on the backside, but that isn't the only threat left, and Trulix can't hack it. Chico now has to stay alive with no materials, and they know it. They will wipe him out. Floki and Clement have done so well, but the job is not done. Pink and Anas know what they need to do. They need to start picking up some eliminations. Nako trying to be the thorn in the backside. Clement is down, and so Floki just left as a solo, and this is really picking up for Pink and Anas here.
They can basically dance on this high ground. All they need to do is break down 2 different solo players. Look at the control from Anas. Look at the confidence from this team on height. Momentary reprieve for Floki, but it won't last fast enough. He goes for the swing around the world, but this man's flight's not going to touch down in the best way. The landing gear is not active. The plane might be in the sky, but it'll come crashing down soon. Anas and Pink down on low ground now. All they have to do is look up and beam. The grass is greener on the back half of EU Day 2. Anas and Pink control it down below. Chop down that high ground. This is it for them. A few more shots. How much does Floki have? Not enough. Pink now will secure it towards the end. That's a double shot. That's a VR for your second last game from Pink and Anas.
A 7 elimination victory royale may just be enough to push them back into contention. They had a bit of a slow couple games, but they really did rally back together to get back involved. A brilliant display from Pink and Anas. We saw them win a couple games yesterday, and they're finally able to pick one up on day 2.
Power, speed, and most importantly, recovery for their performance on day number 2. They needed this, and look at that style from Pink. One swing, and the entire destiny of height changes. Anas gets close and comfortable with everyone on low ground as well. Big props for Floki for trying to survive that long. That's all the experience with practice, but it's not going to be enough when you're up against the 2 goats.
Pink and Anas did so well. But the big question is, right, going into this final game, what does that battle for first look like? Who will be the one to finally claim the AXA champions? The only people that can let us know, right, are Zeke, Boop, and Reese. So, gentlemen, take it away.
Okay. Everybody, take a deep breath.
Wait for the next
Calm down. Inhale.
Forward. Where's the rewards here? 6. So this is not, but this is... This is active. Yeah, this is Pink and Anas. This is Stormlight. Right now in the lead is Gilhen. But Session? What is that? What does that mean? 11 matches. Then you see that they've got 0 wins. They've got 0 wins, but 1 win. 2 wins. I think so we've got 3 victory royales. Okay. The average limit is 2.5. Placement 94. That placement is actually quite good. 15.6, 16, 16, 15. 14.4. I want to see. They had their average placement of 0.5. 0.5 over 11 games. So we've got about 5 of them. So 27 points. And then we'll go. What's the top? The top is 269. So half of that is about. That's 134. I'd say this is our closest. So averaging around 4.5. Also just going to show you the one in every cup. This one. These guys. So we're just gonna go here again. Let's go. Okay, we're back in.
Important to note also that Hen and Queasy, no victory royales to date in the 11 games, and their playstyle is game winning. They are guys who go up to high ground. They are guys who pick up the victory royales. So to see them without any and be on top of the leaderboard is super impressive. Here's obviously the next list of teams. Everyone here, you got to even know, 208 points. What's that, like 61 or something like that behind the first? Like, that's a victory royale with 11 eliminations. And, you know, obviously that won't put them into first because those players will probably get points as well. But again, that's a top 5, hugely potential for the players at the top of this.
It all comes down to this. One final game in Europe, and to see how close our top 10 is. Don't forget, as I've mentioned before, and I will always mention, even players in your 11th through 20th, they're trying to jump up into that top 10 as well, right? They may not get first, but when you're talking a difference in prize money, that's what they're aiming for right here, right now. I just want to get super quick thoughts, okay? We have about 50 seconds before we're going to hang out with the casters. Expectations going into the final game. Boop, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I want us all to just look at high gun this game because it's all dependent. Like, are we going to have people fighting for high gun? Are we going to 50-50? Are we going to play more passively? And I think that's where the experience comes through yet again. I don't think Queasy and Hen are going to go for it straight away. I don't think Thomas G and Tasty go for it right away. I don't know. It's a big question mark.
I mean, realistically, any of these teams go down, they're not winning early, right? So that's hugely to watch out the top 3. Usually in this situation, I'd say that more experienced players will be the ones who are going to look out for it. But all 3 top teams are like the most veteran players in there. When you go down the list, you start to get to other FNCS champions pairing up with newer players too. So, hey, I just want to watch the last game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Well,
here we go.
Reese, Boop, let's get ready to do this. Fortnite fam, one final game here in Europe to decide it all. Legends Landing, if you guys are watching, hit us with the emotes. Let the hype rise as we board the battle bus one last time. Shia Wager, 11-2K. Let's go again.
What is our life? This is what we wanted, but I couldn't have never imagined that it would truly be delivered to us in this manner. The final game of the FNCS. It's been a great season, but this is about to be an even greater finish.
We thought it wouldn't be close. Day 1 looked like, you know, yeah, the leaderboard is what it is, but there's clear leaders that are pushing us forward in Europe. That changed immediately when we landed on day 2. And now, Levin, there's 2 teams at the top who do not want to go down.
And even just shortly behind that, right, we have even more teams who really could have a say in how this thing plays out. It's been an intense couple of games, but there's really not going to be one as nail-biting as this. We head into the final game of the FNCS right now.
Game number 12, European FNCS, $1.3 million on the line to hand out to every player. A 4-point game at the top. Much closer past that, all the way down. It's the 50 best teams you can watch play in the world. And Thomas H. and Tayson, they're rocking down with a lot of damage. I find this slightly uncharacteristic. I haven't really seen this form of landing before, but I like what I'm watching. Every single strat is out for this game. Thomas H. and Tayson are 2nd place overall. They really want it.
And they're not too far from first. It's literally the smallest of differences between it. Bad Sniper goes down early. In Tilted Towers, what's going on? They've had the better of Benji and Savage for so long, but Phoenix, who was at Covert before, now over at Tilted and takes down Bad Sniper. So our 7th place team has a new hurdle to climb in this game.
Every person that likes to tune in sometimes only comes through for the final game of Fortnite for the regions. If you're not comfortable or, used to watching competitive Fortnite, every single player has a certain drop they usually land at. Right now, that's being changed up inside Tilted. That's where Benji and Savage, a lot of names you guys recognize, are going to be landing. That's where a bunch of players on the map are. Free Llama for Hen and Queasy as well. Why are this team or this duo important, Levin?
Oh, they sit in first place. They hold the keys to the lobby right now, Shia.
Oh, interesting. And they have a Llama as well. Haven't gotten a single launch pad all day, somehow still in that first place. Psycho Clown and Oipic. Rose will also be rolling through right now. A team that has never really been in the FNCS finals. A team that just plays like just another duo you love to watch throughout the day. They aren't legends. They're making their new stride. They're the next generation, and right now they've been struggling on a fight off spawn over and over again. Somehow still in that top 10. Grols is down, all down to Clown. Him against Hookah and Zestin 1v2. This is not the same as many other games we see. Usually they're winning this off-spawn fight, but now you see things as well from the starting position. They're always isolated 2v2. A third party doesn't come in fast. It's Chapix and Seti who are here, who've been having a rough finals the entire time. These are legends in their own right, but they haven't found their footing in EU this weekend.
Yeah, in last game, we saw Chapix and Seti tried to get involved in this fight, come in third party, and they were just a bit too late to the action. This time though, they are speedy, they're quick with it. They don't want to miss out, and this is exactly why they know that they can capitalize. Clown has a 2v1, and even though they've not been on their best performance, Seti and Chapix in a 2v1 is never a fun fight to take.
Third place overall, Stormy Rat Kiriachi. They've been sitting in 6th throughout the entire day out of 50 duos that are playing so far. They're rising up in the ranks as of some of the last games. Crazy things have been going down. There's been ties for first. There have been both teammates on both sides of that upper echelon going down. These guys sneakily have risen. Levin, they're never in vision. They're never on our screens in terms of how they do things, how they stay alive. They're never next to the top 10 in terms of their boxes. Somehow, though, in the top 3, though.
It's crazy because this was very much looking like a two-headed race, but these guys have just pushed their way in, barged everyone through. Kiriachi is telling everyone, look, I am an FNCS champion and I want to be one again. They sit just 1 point behind second and not too far away from first either. DKF finally being taken out there, and that's real rough in terms of the pickaxe coming through.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Everything being thrown through the doors in terms of this last game. Seti and Chapix, their battle's not done either. Swifty, you'll notice the number beside these nameplates, the numbers at the bottom left as well. That's the overall placement for these teams. It'll be 38th, battling another team that's somewhat in the 30s as well. Seti no mats, has to jump all the way down, and unfortunately, it's not gonna be enough. Chapix is gone as well. Huddy and Swifty rise up the ranks.
That's going to be all 9 lives gone for Seti and Chapix. Taken out. It's just not been their tournament. Sometimes the hard work just doesn't connect with the result. But that's where they hit the drawing board and they come back stronger next season. But in the meantime, in the rest of the lobby, our second place team, another game where they have launch pads, all the shield they could possibly ask for, and another zone. Is that 12 out of 12 zones in the west, northwest of the map? Everything literally has gone perfectly for them in that regard. They've had the perfect circumstances, and now they have the opportunity to deliver.
When did Janix and Vortex get into 4th? These guys have just been chilling the entire time. They literally get 1 win and they sleep and they do nothing for the rest of the day. Somehow, in top 5, next to Kiriachi, next to, we have Thomas Tayson and Henan Queasy as well. I mean, if these guys are in contention and they're focused, Levin, right? I mean, this team always just feels like they lack focus. If they're focused, it's the business. It's time. Talk about the business too. Benji Fishy looking kind of nice with the tux. He's rolling in. But unfortunately, Savage once again down 114 points. They're in 30th place overall. Benji almost out of match. He has to 1v2 to keep that prize money potential alive. 166. Slap Phoenix in the face. He's not fooling around. You can see him too. He's looking kind of dicey with it. But those extra points confirmed. Smart from him because that's more likely than getting that second elim. Their story will end today in 30th.
Benji and Savage will just have to go next. It wasn't their day. They started off well, but cooled off eventually. Janice and Vortex, though, it's hard to predict at times their trajectory. They start off hot, and they look like they fizzled out, but then they come back striking harder than ever.
When it comes to Janice and Vortex, I'm just scared watching them every time. They are just periodically shaking a soda can, and you want it to explode in endgame. Sometimes, though, the pressure gets too high. Earlier in the game, they start making crazy mistakes. The pressure gets too much. Fizz everywhere. Trulex Chico as well. I feel like they are so good in their journey, never actually arrive at their destination in the most glorious way. Have the best spots. Look at this tower. Look at the beams. It's looking mighty fine for Chico and Trulex right now. As soon as endgame starts, they start to panic. The high ground they control, taken over. The front side of the zone, absolutely overpopulated. There's no chance for them to really stay alive at all.
It's rough, right? Because you watch them, especially in that last game, where they roll through, they go on height. Trulex trying to show people he did play with Queasy, right? He understands the ways of the high ground, but they just haven't quite been able to materialize it yet. They still sit in 5th place, and it's been an impressive run. But will they be able to close it out in even more spectacular fashion? That remains to be seen.
Lots of action all around the map. We'll see some of those middling teams go down and go for their final fights on the Fortnite island. PKR and Mappy having a little bit of a rough day, but they find a few eliminations back and forth. Kiko and Mosh, not gonna make it too easy for them though. PKR finally going down, taking over. Meanwhile, Stompy Jew, they're rocking in as well. The right side of the island has been such a rough fight, and it's not going too well for them either.
I feel so sad watching all of these fights because the reality is the nature of Fortnite, the nature of this community is with a lot of these teams, this is going to be the last time we ever see them compete with each other. Genuinely, this might be the last time you ever see Benji Fishy with Mr. Savage by his side in a lobby of this caliber. Every single fight is just a closing of the chapter for so many of these teams.
And now I want to focus on a little bit of the top 4. Who are they? What are their qualities? How do they play? For me, Hen and Queasy, if they had a superpower, it'd be invisibility, Levin. Somehow untouched as they move around, get to high ground, undetected, unseen, and then just have power and control.
They truly are thieves in the night, right? Always available there to steal high ground away from whoever thinks they have it. But these guys truly have shown at times that they can be the bosses in that regard. And so sitting in first, again, that confidence is strong for them.
On the bottom left, Kiriachi and Stormy right, I would give them the tags of duelists. Very good at taking fights 2-on-2 against one other team. That's how they build up their surge. That's how they beam people across the map. As soon as you add a third party to the mix, though, I feel like that has been their weakness throughout the entire day.
The big thing for them, though, is that if they can get deeper into these games, they've shown that in end games, they can find control on low ground, right? Even in all the chaos and all the madness, they can be the ones to stop anybody from dropping down and finding a sense of a home down there. And so that really is the winning condition for those boys.
We end up with Thomas and Tayson. I would call them team marketing. Every single zone in the entire game on their POI, every single situation, blessing them. But at the same time, they have the best drop in the game, 11. Launch pads, time and time, over and over again, right? That is something that's so scarce in this meta. If you're used to watching Fortnite in the past, yeah, they might be prevalent. Over here, not many teams have them. And also being said, they're the unfair team. We mentioned it, right? Imagine having to deal with Thomas HD, one of the best players in the world. You take him down, Tayson pops up. What do?
There's not much you can do other than just be knocked or be eliminated, right? Oftentimes, it's like running into a brick wall. How many times can you continue to run into that brick wall without realizing that there is nothing you can do?
They are basically the final boss, and they've got 2 phases, is what I'm trying to put down here. You have to be able to do the entire fight without being scathed, touched even once, or you're down. Then we have Janice and Vortex in 4th place. I mean, these guys, I don't know what tag to add to them. Mystery men, an enigma. I don't know how they approach this game. You have a knack for them, Levin. You know exactly when they can win. You've called it multiple times. Talk to me here.
They truly are what you expect from a Dark Horse team. One that maybe hasn't been given the credit as one of the best teams in the EU or in the world, but they truly are just that. Complete in all phases of the game. Early game, solid. Mid game, secure. And end game is where they can explode. Vortex, one of the strongest, more exciting players in all the land. And Janice, a veteran who knows how to do it and win on all stages. They truly are one of the bigger threats, and they have been, and they will continue to be in this lobby.
To round out the top 5, we did talk about Trulix and Chico for just a little bit. Nomad's just trying to find a home, just trying to find a way to get comfortable. Once again, I think this is just a masterclass of mid-game damage, 401 above in terms of handling Surge. And they just get to endgame, and that's where, you know, it's tough. No one's giving them a hitchhike ride anymore. No one's trying to help them out in terms of giving them the space. That being said, what is this new tag that just popped up on your screen on the top, or I guess right side, the damage threshold? This is Surge. You have to deal enough damage, or else you will basically start to take damage from the entire server. And with that being said, that's one of the things that everyone's been focusing on inside the mid game. Early game, it's all about winning your POI. Late game, obviously getting as many elims as you can and winning. But in the middle, every team you'll realize will start to make bases or push boxes and start to handle their surge. Just the way to keep people active as they play the game. You deal damage or you take damage, that's all it is.
The rest got to scram the team on RC Green. They've been a bit all over the place at times when it comes to their ability to do damage when it matters the most. If these guys can get their Storm Surge dealt with, they will be a threat in endgame, one of the more experienced teams. But that in itself is a big question mark. Will they be able to do that? You can see Queasy and Hen posted up on this hill. This is their attempt to deal with their Storm Surge. You can see they're up so high, they can see everybody in this general area. And so once somebody pops out, right there, just what Queasy did. Take some shots. That damage goes a long way in the journey. Just trying to stay above the Storm Surge.
It's Tayson and Thomas are taking damage towards. This just happened in the last game. They saw each other. They were tied for points. Right now, I believe Queasy is about 4 ahead. This is first and second, though, and Hen and Queasy ended up taking out Thomas and Tayson. They're also 11, the only people in this spot that can actually look at each other and go for shots. They're going to be rattling up against each other. Depending on this performance, we'll see who's allowed to play this game, who actually has that damage and the surge.
And if this zone goes further southeast, right, they could end up having to rotate almost side by side. We saw what happened, right? Last time that happened, it didn't end well for either team. And so look, that journey's going to have to start being made, and it's going to be real rough. They've so far sort of just traded, which is all right because they both have lots of shields because of the POIs they come from. But at a certain point, you don't want to trade anymore. Right? At a certain point, you want to be the one that alphas the other.
Always want to be the one coming out on top. Right now, the differences for all these teams, I want to explain it a little bit and what they're walking away with today. Hen and Queasy, as of right now, are sitting on $300,000 in their position in first place. The difference between them and Thomas and Tayson are sitting on $200,000. There's a $100,000 difference between these teams. 4 points that are worth basically $100,000. Behind them with Stormy Ray and Kiriachi, third place overall, will walk away with $150K. So you can see the amounts start to get up, and up more as we go through these rankings. Vortex and Janice, 120K2 at fourth. Looking good for now, but once again, this is only if these teams survive and maintain these spots. We've seen it every game. Whoever is first and second, they start to dwindle. They go a little bit back and forth. Their position changes drastically when the next game starts. Last game was a catch-up for the rest of the board, which makes this one so much more so interesting. Everyone is about 10, 20-ish points next to each other. That is just a little bit of placement overall.
You can see their position right here in the middle of the lake. Actually somewhere where I've seen them look to position themselves in the past. Relatively central in this third zone, and it means that when fourth pops, they're likely to pull it. But if things don't go their way, things could get messy, right? Just sort of isolated here in the middle of everything. But the big thing is they have experience here, right? They've literally pulled this kind of zone so many times, whether that be in other qualifiers, in scrims, practice. So they'll know exactly what the right protocol is. They have it all planned to a T.
Thing is, you might have a plan. It can still look kind of drastic. They're 20 points behind overall from Thomas HD and Tayson, right? 20 points, that's a lot of eliminations needed. Each elim worth 3. You can do the math. They got to just keep racking things up and have a stellar performance. Tayson goes down to Aqua. This split base to try to gain control of the north side of the map leads to disastrous results for Thomas HD. He will try to go for a little bit of that finish on Noah Riley. He will come through. Maybe he can get the mats. But the second place team, the head-to-head matchup we were looking forward to facing and watching, gets fractured in half. And Tayson is down.
Thomas truly is half man, half amazing, but at what point is it too much for him? At what point is it really too much of a mountain to climb? This is going to be a real tough ending. Aqua was able to get the reboot on O'Reilly, but Thomas won't be able to have that same benefit. And even then, it doesn't matter.
He gets 3 more. Noah Riley brought back from the lobby by Aqua. There's no chance for Aqua to go back. The zone does too much damage now to get the reboot again, but that's 3 points for Thomas HD to have again. He just has to wait. There's an airdrop here as well. That's another pad. If there is a person in this game that can solo an endgame, it might be Thomas. He might have another free pick here. It's up against Aqua. He knows it's the 1v1, but the more noise he makes, everyone else on the server will start to shoot, and those shots start to come from a long distance. They won't do too much damage, but Thomas has to be careful. One mistake, his HP totals go down. He has to just push forward for this fight. 35 seconds left for the zone move as well. Builds. This SMG is not going to do too much damage. for those fully built walls to try to go for that pressure. He's gonna elect to just back up a bit, go for the package. It's gonna be fine. Will it drop a launch pad? Does he have the marketing? No. No pad for him. No, yes, absolutely. 2 pads now for him to rock in with. I have to assume that Jason might have used one earlier on before, so it's gonna be fine for him for now. Aqua is gonna be here on low ground, fully beefed up with the shield. I'm not sure what the surge situation looks like for Thomas HD either, but what I do know is there are at least 4 teams looking this way. No matter what decision he makes here, the eyes will be on him in this lobby.
This is going to be a real tough rotation. Aqua lands at the bugle, so he has the web shooters, I believe. And Thomas doing what probably was the best option, right? Looking to go towards this hill, using it as cover. And he does take a bit of damage, but he has the shields to recover. And that's just even less shields to use deeper into the game. And he still has his eyes set on Aqua. He realizes that every little point helps. Oh, wow. He's 64 below as well, so he actually just needs the damage straight up in terms of surge.
Look at the points in third place. 265 right now, and Thomas is at 266. Yeah, the 3 points will help overall, but he will fall down the standings if he can't live. Yes, the elim, it'll be huge. Yes, to this point, you go down in the top 3, you might be able to hold on to top 10, but this man wants to win. He wants to be on the podium. So does Tayson. And clutch sprays coming in from up above. Will it update the threshold? No, just 37 below still. Thomas HD is in trouble. He'll have to use one of his pads directly in the line of sight of other players. Not everyone opens up. He's going for the 1v1. Aqua jumping in the box, but Aqua lands a big shot, controls the wall, bounced back. Thomas HD somehow survives, doesn't own any of these walls. Aqua, I think, just got beamed down as well right in front of him. Now the entire lobby is focusing him, and Thomas HD is down.
That might just be it. I doubt their second place will hold with Kiriachi and Stormy right looking so strong. And so what was setting up to be a photo finish for them might be the end of their FNCS run. And if Hen and Queasy have been paying attention to the feed, that will be huge for them.
This happened last game though. They took down Thomas HD and Tayson, and then the next 20 seconds they looked a bit too happy-go-lucky. They got a bit too fruitful with the way they were playing the game. A miss edit a little bit possibly. They were trying to hit a pad, but looks like I got blocked. They'll go down for it again, blocked once more. Hen falls down and jumps. They barely took any damage, just one zone tick. They're looking good, composed. All they need to do right now is stay alive.
And they can do that. They've been able to so well. We talked about how they can be so sneaky, almost like they're invisible in these games. And some nice damage being dealt. Hen, you can feel he's in rhythm, hitting the shots when needed. And this is everything. This is their chance. Last year, FNCS, the first one of the year, Hen was victorious. 2022, can he do it again?
We need to stay with them for this one. We haven't watched the way they really take height, hold it. Yes, we tune in with a bunch of other POVs as well, but I really want to see the decisions they make. Look at this expert spot. They're still picking up a few eliminations. None of them will actually go towards points credits, though. It's just the pressure, because Tripper and Vidil are there to pick those ones up. It's fully aquatic. 11-2K, look at the zone.
I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving this. And if you remember back, right, this will be great for Janice and Vortex. They were prepared, right? And so I'm sure they'll be sitting pretty. The Hen and Queasy deal with it so well. And you can see Hen doesn't stop, right? He's constantly looking for these opportunities. He can smell it from a mile away. And now, as the zone pulls towards that northeast, this is where champions are made. 104 below somehow. Oh no, 273. The update came through. But Hen, Queasy versus Stormy Rat and Kiriachi is the story to follow for today.
On the left side of your screen, just pay attention to those golden lights. They're jumping straight into the storm, and yes, they do actually grab the pad. Lots of damage done. They'll have to drop down and heal. I'm tracking them. They're going towards the front side of the zone. On the right side, you can see their POV going up, and away towards high ground. Almost a straight up second height. Do they find each other, though? Are they together? Yes, that is the case. Still good above Surge. Queasy takes a little bit over on the tarp. Hen starts to move in as well. Armored wall put down, so they have a moment to breathe. Hen and Queasy are making this run to win EU FNCS.
And Karma and Booback may sit on height for the meantime, but I can assure you, Hen and Queasy will start to look, and you can already see Hen peeking up. but just before, he'll look to try see if they can get any more eliminations, anything that can get the material up and healthy. But it's all about that timing for when they look for height.
Have to be controlled here. Bubak might just go down, get angry with it. Queasy actually stumbles, falls, gets beamed. It's someone in their build. I think Bubak's getting close and personal. 276 per hand. It's not going to be enough to just win the entire tournament. He's going to have to clutch by himself. The Wonder Kid from seasons before has to grow up to be a man. One elimination. He's all on his own. Has almost maximum wood, but no more hard mats up against a wall of Badil. A tough fight to win. Gains control of the ramp. Has a chance for an edit. Just wants to get the materials. Get a little bit out of it. He's on this floor. It's not his. Has to be careful. This is crazy. Spicy Splashes has 8 of them. He can really move around and has a lot of mats to work with as well. He's going to tank this zone as much as possible. Look at that golden light lost in the darkness. Hen has to keep this run alive. 284 points. He's getting higher in these standings. 13 teams left. Bubak still has height. What a nice swing. He's on second height right now. Has to relieve that pressure. Maybe drop down slightly. No, he doesn't get focused by anyone. Full hard mats here for him to use as well. Bubak starts to rattle on the cage that Hen is in, but this man is no chicken, no turkey. He's a beast. He's looking for the shots on a Janus and Vortex. Another armored wall he's showing for the moment right now. That golden right surrounded by enemies from all and every single side. Someone's waiting. Jump inside Hen's box. One miss at it could be his demise. Goes for a few more shots and Elam down below. He still doesn't find it. How is Hen still alive from this moment? Has a lot of mats to work with. He'll go off from the right side. 286, first place. Is still shining bright and looking true. A double jump in midair too. He's found his next box.
Hen's done so well to stay alive. He's done everything he possibly can, and he won't stop here. Dealing damage, applying pressure like he has a teammate by his side. Gets Karma down, has the chug smasher when the siphon comes in. That will be huge for his HP. He's done brilliantly. 291 points is going to be a mountain that not many teams can climb. Karma and Janus down, and so this is going to be real difficult for all of these teams left trying to fight for the AXA champions.
6 teams, 6 players. It's a solos FNCS basically, and Hen is going for high ground. 1v1, toe to toe, up against Bubak. One edit, he's got no shield. Hen needs to win this. He has control. This is a solo clutch of your career, my friend, and you're about to win the FNCS if you hold on. No mats, 1 armored wall. This is all he has left.
Hen has everything. He's done everything. He's solo clutch. We know he has that ability. No materials left, but he still is able to apply damage. Won't get that elimination, but he will hold on.
Starts to spray one more person in his way to sit those down on the low ground. All it has to do is wait. The drop down, the beam, it's almost enough, and has it. 1v1, 297 points. This is for the European Championship. All he has to do is take down Walks, solidify it. He has enough points already, but do it in style, my friend. The VR is just in your grasp. Hen as a solo against the world, and he wins the European FNCS.
He has the motivation, he has the drive, the hunger, and the thirst for greatness. He is greatness. Hen and Queasy will win the first FNCS of the year, and what a way to do it. The solo clutch when all the odds were against him, and the boy from Britain is able to do it. Wow.
That's just what you expect from a man who was born in this mode. Someone who gave us the best stories from Chapter 2 and possibly even the big moments we saw from Chapter 1. I mean, Hen right now, to do it from that early as a solo, monumental, crazy, what a shot. I'm just so happy. A comeback performance as well at 11. They were so behind from that first day.
It was crazy, right? They had so high expectations coming into the FNCS finals, and it started off slow. There were doubts about their ability, but they just kept rising and rising shy throughout the tournament, and they seal it out. They've looked like the best duo all season long, and they finished the season the best duo as well.
Absolutely crazy from these guys. I don't know how to explain it. They just went away from everyone else into their own world, their own time chamber, and then came out complete champions. I mean, that's what we love to see. And Levin, casting this with you, man. I mean, first run for both of us. It was also awesome from start to finish.
There's nobody I'd rather do it with, man. It's been one of the best days of Fortnite I've seen in a long, long time. It's been an absolute blast, and I can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely. We'll toss it back over to Zeke, Boop, and Reese. I mean, that was a run of a lifetime.
You just gotta give them the applause. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hen, Queasy, it's in those moments, man, that we live for. Those moments of clarity, of just pure, serene tranquility, where they can just say, It doesn't matter what happens. I have the confidence. I have put everything into this performance, into this final game. And to then walk away the winner, Boop. It is just... Is there a better feeling? I don't think so.
That is just ridiculous. The incredible mental fortitude to do it as a solo. It was 5 solos at the end there. It was basically a solo tournament. And Hen, with everything, all the pressure on the line, everything on his shoulders, he just did it. I'm lost for words. Absolutely speechless. Hen has secured himself as one of the best players in Fortnite history. What a man.
That is one of the best moments in Fortnite ever. Like, hands down, there is one of the best moments in Fortnite ever. The solo clutch from Hen. Queasy obviously went down to that spray, as we noticed there. But I can't even speak at this moment. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm seeing the reactions coming out from them on Twitter right now. Queasy shaking, literally. Said he's almost passing out watching Hen solo clutch do this, what we just saw here. And I am, again, I'm just speechless. Great analyst, like, I don't understand, but, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, let's go a little bit more analytical. You know, when we saw them in day number 1, you know, we saw them sort of, they maybe had lost a little bit of hope, right? And then that last game, we saw just a glimmer, just a tiny little glimmer of hope. And today, they just turned it to the absolute maximum. You know, at the beginning of the show, we alluded to the feeling that Queasy had. You know, yesterday, everything went wrong for him. And today, looked like everything went right. Hen was on top, Queasy was on top, and that is...
Okay. We'll end stream soon, guys. Okay, just, look at this. Ended. There we go. So, Hen and Queasy, look at this. Here, 319 points on here. And in the session, and cumulative. And guess what you get for that? You get 150,000 US dollars, European dollars, each active champions, and Starlight gets 100,000 each. That's cool. The 1,005. Who gets the 1,000? Okay, let's see who'll get 20,000. Who gets 20,000? What's the Savage event? 3 points. Who gets? Falcon and who's up in here? Oh. Benji Fish isn't here with me, is it? Where's Benji Fish and Savage over here? Yeah, that's face. What? 60 points for limbs. Oh. I need to see that. I need to see this. Match history. Oh my god, that's 9 limbs? 9, 2, 6, 15, 17, 18, 19 limbs. 60 points for them. No, there must be 20, I might have done it wrong. 2, 6, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, I don't know what I did. 51%, 48%. Oh wow. Oh, I don't want to watch it. Okay guys, well we'll be ending soon now. Peace out. Bye guys. Have fun, probably recording a video tomorrow. Hope you do. And goodbye guys. Hope you have a good night and good sleep.